Turkey and Denmark may seem like two countries that don't have a lot in common, and sure they are separated by lands and ecosystems, but one thing that they do relate to each other is the defense and protection of its own people and culture. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to FTD Facts, the channel where we talk about people, cultures, and places from all around the world. Now, my name is Dave Walpa, and just to let you guys know, this is actually a part 2 where we actually looked at Turkey and Denmark, and we looked at population and economy. And if you guys missed that video and you want to check it out, well, I'll put it down there in the description box below, or you could hit this card that's above me. But really, you'll want to wait till the end of this video to check it out, because this one is going to be really cool. Now, also, if you guys just love learning about cultures and militaries and seeing the comparisons of different things, well, you want to subscribe to the channel because that's what we do here. Now, let's start with Denmark. Now, currently, they have a manpower of 2,500,000 people, and approximately 2,020,000 people are fit for service. Now, with its active military personnel, they come in approximately at 75,150, and there's approximately 20,800 active personnel, and of that, about 54,350 are in reserve units. Now, keep in mind, guys, when it comes to these numbers, these are all speculative. No military actually gives out true numbers. It would just be insane of them to do so. Now, moving right along to Turkey, they have approximately a manpower of 41,640,000 people, just devastating Denmark. And of that, there is approximately 35,010,000 people fit for service. And throughout all of its military, its total personnel sits at 743,400 people, with approximately 382,850 active personnel and 360,500 people in reserve units. Now, one thing that these two nations do have in common is that they actually both have conscription. For Denmark, they do have conscription for young adults being 18 years or older, and you will serve either 4 or 12 months. Now, women can also join, but they are not obligated to do so. And just to keep in mind, their conscription actually has been around since their Viking days. As for Turkey, their conscription begins at 20 and your service begins at 21. And at any time, you can be called to the military till about the age of 41. And this is compulsory for all males within the country, and you will serve either 6 months or 12 months if you're a non-university graduate. And also, the minimum age for volunteering is 18 years old and is open to males and females. Now, we do have their numbers. Let's take a look at their actual hardware, because that's important as well. Now, looking at the Air Force, Denmark has an aircraft strength of 83 with approximately 33 fighter jets. And of that, the F-16 acts as their main fighter jet, with them having approximately 35 attack crafts. Of that, there is 36 transports and approximately 34 helicopters in strength. Now, as for Turkey, their aircraft strength is much more, coming in at 1,018, and they have approximately 207 fighter jets, with the F-16 Falcon also being their main fighter jet. Of that, there's 207 attack craft, 439 transport craft, and their helicopter strength comes in at 455, with approximately 70 attack helicopters. Now, moving down to the ground, because we got the air covered. For Denmark, they have approximately 57 tanks, and of that, the Leopard A2 is their main battle tank. Now, they have approximately 673 armored fighting vehicles, 12 artillery, and no rocket projectors. But for Turkey, they have approximately 2,455 combat tanks. Now, they do indeed use the Leopard A1 and A2. However, keep in mind, of this 2,000, they have at least 900 Patton M60 tanks that make up their main battle force. On top of that, they also have 7,550 armored fighting vehicles. That is insane. I don't think I've seen it that high in a while. And they also have 1,710 artillery and 811 rocket projectors. Whew, not gonna lie, guys, that is a lot of armaments. That is just crazy. But let's take a look at the Sea and the Navy. So for Denmark, they have approximately 90 Navy assets. Of course, they have 0 aircraft carriers. However, they do have 9 frigates, 0 destroyers and submarines, and approximately 8 patrol craft. Now, I'm not sure what other sort of crafts they have. They could have other things that just haven't been reported, so who knows. As for Turkey, they have 194 Navy assets, 0 aircraft carriers, 16 frigates, 9 corvettes, 12 submarines, and approximately 34 patrol craft. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, Turkey is one huge country, but let's keep in mind, let's take a look at the budget next, because that's also important as well. Now, as we can see, Denmark is a much smaller country when it does come to its military. And when it comes to their budget, they spend approximately 4.4 billion US dollars on their military hardware, training, and installations. Now, as for Turkey, it's a little bit different. It's kind of actually hard to get an exact number, even a speculative number, because I've been reading all over the place and the budget seems to be in every which direction. It's high, it's low, it's hard to tell. But from what I read and gathered, the budget probably sits anywhere between 14 to 18 billion dollars, ranking it the 15th highest military in 2016. Now, I've also heard it's about 8 billion US dollars, which makes it about 30 Turkish liras, but I'm not entirely sure about that one. I just want to throw that out there just in case. And although these numbers may not be absolutely exact, one thing that is very important to know about Denmark and Turkey is how they handle United Nations and peacekeeping missions. For example, Denmark during the Cold War did take part in UN peacekeeping missions, but left after Bosnia. However, they are a huge supporter of the United Nations Protection Force, the UNPROFOR, but as well they support many NATO missions and they also support US decisions. Now, as for Turkey, its first time joining UN peacekeeping missions was during the Korean War. And as of May of 2017, it contributes to 8 peacekeeping missions around the world. So there you have it, guys. That is just a brief look at these two great nations when it comes to their militaries and how they operate. And it's fantastic to know that these two nations do take their military very seriously and train their soldiers to protect not only themselves, but their loved ones and their culture. But my name's Dave Walpole, guys, and I really hope you had an awesome time learning about Denmark and learning about Turkey. Like I said, the best thing that's great about these videos is some people will say, oh, you're spreading hate, but not really. We're just here to get two different countries to learn about each other and cross-promote each other, because that's really the best thing to do. Now, before you guys get out of here, leave a comment for a future FTD Facts video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And on top of that, if you guys really want to follow more of my own stuff, and if you like video games and movies, well, join me over on Picky Nerds, where I talk about how movies and video games could be improved. It's a really fun thing that I'm doing over there. But other than that, guys, we'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you guys had yourself a fantastic one. All right, see you later. Bye. So that is the end of this military video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now, if you like learning about these two countries, and say you missed the first one, well, I'm going to put that in the description box below. But if you want to learn more about these two great nations, well, we got two different videos for you guys to check out here. This one's on Denmark as a whole, and this one is on Turkey. Feel free to check them out. And until next time, guys, you have yourself a fantastic one, and we'll see you later.